Greetings, friends! Today marks 3 weeks since I had my gallbladder surgery, and I must say I am feeling fantastic. And one of the things that I like to say, and I've said this for some time now, is you don't know how bad you felt until you start feeling good. I'm feeling so good now, and I was like, man, I don't remember the last time I was feeling this good. I was even doing jumping jacks this morning, and I did some push-ups yesterday. I didn't overdo it because I was feeling it in my ab a little bit, especially with them having to cut through part of it. Other than that, I'm feeling good. And the jumping jacks, they felt great. But I could tell I hadn't been doing really any significant cardio in a while. But other than that, I'm gonna keep building on it each day, feeling good, being smart. And I feel like I've been smart overall. I've been really trying to be cautious, but also not be a wimp about it either. Well, there's a lot of projects that I want to get done around here. We have the overwinterized greenhouse project where the chickens are that I wasn't able to finish before I had the surgery. I really want to finish that, but it's raining outside right now. It's been a soft rain drizzle here and there, and the ground's really wet, so I won't be working up there working on that project. And there's also another project that I want to work on too, of doing another raised bed. We have a few blocks in that area that I want to set it up in, but I want to do it just like another raised bed that we just did right outside of here. And actually this past year we had things growing in it like sunflowers and strawberries and Thai basil and what else do we have in there? Was it daffodils and tulips? Yeah. So I want to do the same thing on the other side, but that's gonna have to wait too. But right now we really need to work in this greenhouse as well. So Josiah is here with me. We really need to organize it, clean it up, because I want to get some gravel in here, so that way right now I just have the landscape fabric down here, but I'll put some gravel down and level it out and even it up. But before we do that, we kind of need to get things cleared out so that I can actually do that. So Josiah's going to be helping me with that right now. So that way I won't overdo it with lifting and moving things around. So he's going to help me out. Isn't that right, Josiah? Are you going to spend a lot of time eating? And speaking of eating, right now we have cilantro growing in here, as well as some kale. And then right down here on the end, we have lemon balm, which is a really good thing to grow. Especially right now, it's really good for, you can make a tea out of it, and it's really good for stress relief and anxiety and things like that. We also have some peppermint here that we're growing as well, which actually needs to be watered. But other than that, we're able to grow it throughout the year. But let's get to work and moving some of this around, because over the past few months we have accumulated a lot of mess. Must say I'm a little embarrassed by the mess that I have in here. But it's like, you have all these things that you intend to do and things you want to do, and sometimes we just can't get to them all, and we should strive for balance, yet finding balance can be challenging at times. Sometimes we lean too far in one direction, and then sometimes we lean too far in another direction, and it's quite the challenge to find right at that balance point. But anyways, we're cleaning up and making progress here. And I'm actually considering changing up the greenhouse a little bit this year. This past year we added the beds here on the sides, which I really like. And we've had the tables here in the middle. And we mainly just use the tables for having our trays for our starts that are getting ready to go out in the field. However, one of the things that I'm thinking is, we don't get maximum use out of them. So why not make another bed here? And I'm thinking maybe going about this high or so, somewhere in there, a real deep bed where we could just really grow some really big root crops, like we have seen at Baker Creek. They had this in this one greenhouse just right by the owner's house. He has this bed that's probably about maybe somewhere between my hip and the chest height. I can't remember exactly, but anyways, that bed was just full of good compost, and he pulled out some of the largest, well, I won't say some of, they were the largest root crops that I have ever seen. So that might be something we can do. And with that, having a bed here, it could be multiple uses. We could use it as like a table, like we have by setting the trays on the block, and we can use the block along the sides. But it also would be good to be growing more right beside our house. Our house is right there, and why not have more growing here, especially during these cooler months, that we can just come right out here and harvest. So that's the direction I'm leaning. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of that idea? Do you have any other suggestions? I'm sure you do. Just remember, the budget is not endless. What are those?
My walnut people.
You made little faces on them?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. That's something else we didn't get to, did we? Is properly harvesting the walnuts there. But you have made them little people there. That's what I look like sometimes. That's what I look like when I see bass. Oh, all right, well, back to work. Those people look cool. Alright, so this gives a rough idea of what I kind of have in mind for the block. I'm going to lay it out about this width, this wide, so that way the width of the walkways will be over 24 inches. I think I measured 26 on each side for it to work out. And with it being this wide, I'm thinking of going about somewhat close to the height that the tables were at, maybe around 24 to 30 inches tall. So that would give a really deep bed, and that would also make it where we're not hunching down when we're using them as kind of tables to set down our trays. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking there. So we'll see how it goes. Let's think about it some more, see what you guys have to say, and go from there. In the meantime, I need to go ahead and plan to get our gravel that we need. And one thing I want to mention is about this greenhouse. This greenhouse here didn't come as a kit. We constructed it using the hoop bender from Bootstrap Farmer and top rails that you can get from your local hardware store. There are more elaborate and more expensive greenhouse kits that you could purchase, but I really think this provides you with the most bang for your buck. You can also get some cheaper ones, and we've done that before, from almost anywhere, your local hardware store, just wherever online. And you can even go with like a greenhouse from Harbor Freight, which we've done that before as well. However, we feel that they just don't hold up, and for the price that you're going to pay for those greenhouses, you could go ahead and just get one of these, and it's going to be it's going to hold up a lot more and last a lot longer. So definitely recommend that, and just something for you guys to keep in mind. While I'm in here, one of the things I want to do is I'm just thinking through of some things that I want to do. Like I want to set up a shelf here to store our trays, and to do so I need to kind of thin out and move our lemon balm here. So right now we're gonna be transplanting some of this lemon balm into some of our grow bags, and these are also from Bootstrap Farmer, and I really like them. And these are actually larger ones that they've been in, like this mince here is in this large grow bag here, but and the lemon balm is in this larger grow bag too, but I'm going to thin it out and put them in some of these smaller ones, so that way I can put my shelf right up here. And look who's here. Micah, you coming to help me out?
Yes.
Are you sure about that? It almost sounded like it hurt you to say yes. Alright, what I need you to do is hold open the grow bags as I'm going to start digging up some of these plants here, the lemon balm, and then we're going to be putting them in some of the grow bags here, alright?
Alright.
And this lemon balm grows a lot like me, and it just spreads really easy and will take over an area if you let it. So, been doing great here. Just needs to be thinned out a little bit too. So, right there. Pour some of that right in there if you want. Pour around the sides, yep. You want to try shoveling for a little bit and I'll hold the bag? Alrighty, there you go. Hold on a minute. Let me get my bag. Here we go. I got it. Yep, just like that. You're doing a great job, man. Oh, I gotta hold the bag better, don't I? There you go. Whoops. Try it again. There we go. All right, next we still got some dirt in here. Pull the bag back.
The bag.
There we go.
A clean area.
Be a lot more cleaner in here. We can come right here to our shell. Alrighty, so Mike is watering some of these plants which really need watering, and one of the things that I've been thinking about as I've been rethinking my greenhouse here is about setting up a gutter system on the outside of this to collect rainwater in a barrel and then run that barrel on a timer to my drip irrigation to water my plants that I have here in this greenhouse. So that's something that I want to try to do for the greenhouse too as I'm rethinking everything. And I talked about doing the gravel. Right here on the floor of the greenhouse, we have the landscape fabric. And it works great, but however, you still get things that pop up from time to time. And with having gravel on top of this landscape fabric, I could easily, or more easily, come in with the flame weeder without burning up my landscape fabric to kind of torch any weed seeds that may germinate. Thank you for watering that lemon balm there and helping me transplant it, buddy.
You're welcome.
And speaking of water, we recently ordered a water test kit to test our water to see what's in it, what contaminants, and whether it be glyphosate or whatever. Just with everything that went on with my gallbladder, I've just really been thinking it really isn't sitting well with me that it was just that I think it was something more than fatty foods that I ate years ago and bad diets that I ate years ago. I'm not saying that didn't contribute to it at all. However, I was pretty alarmed. I want to thank you guys for commenting, those of you who went through the same experience with having gallbladder. It was nice to have somebody to relate to, but it was also really, really alarming the amount of people that have gone through it. So I think there's more to it, and I'm going to do some more investigating and researching, and starting with testing for water. But before we do so, tonight is taco night, and I'm going to harvest some cilantro, as well as some sorrel that was in there with the lemon balm. And we also have some volunteer arugula. So all that will go well with our taco Mexican theme night that we have. Cilantro there. Got some volunteer stock there. Stuff grows all over the place here. So after harvesting some arugula, cilantro, and wood sorrel directly from the greenhouse, they made an excellent topping for our tacos. And now we're going to do the water test that I talked to you about earlier.
Yeah, we have two water tests from TapScore. We have one that's just a basic test that's we're gonna run our well water and see what it comes up with there. And then we also have one other test, and this is for glyphosate. So we wanted to make sure that, or see how much glyphosate was running into our water supply, because you about can't get away from this stuff if you live anywhere close to somewhere that sprays their fields.
I haven't heard that there were traces of it in some as high as up as like Mount Everest somewhere. It was like some pretty remote places that are having signs of glyphosate, so it's pretty interesting.
Well, you know, if it's in our water, it's in our water cycle. So they have specific instructions for you. You have to, you know, fill out who it's collected by, the time, sampling location, and those things. And then it just goes through and tells you exactly how to collect the samples of water. And there's a fully flushed method, and then there's another method where you let your water sit in your pipes for at least 6 hours. And we actually had to do that. So one sample has to be from that method, and then the rest of these have to be from the fully flushed method, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to start with the advanced well water test, and I need my large plastic bottle first, and it says to fill it up to the shoulder. There we go. This was the first draw, so we haven't ran our faucet that was just overnight. So we're going to put this one back, but for all the rest of the test samples, it recommends a fully flushed method. So we're going to turn our water on and let it run for 5 minutes so we can actually get more water straight from the well. Okay, now I'm going to do this one and this one. So I have to fill them up just below the top for this plastic one, and then I have to fill to the very top with no air bubbles. They suggest taking the aerator off of your faucet, but we really can't do that, so I'm just going to fill them up slow to make sure no air gets in them. The advanced well kit also included a hydrogen sulfide gas test. Super easy to do, and as you can see here, we have very little to no hydrogen sulfide gas in our water. So now we have all that done. Now we just put them back in our box and close the boxes up and mail them off with a shipping label that they also sent me.
So we have a couple different bottles here. Just curious, why the different size bottles and types of bottles there?
I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm told, what my little guide tells me to do. They have 2 bottles for the glyphosate one, and then for the advanced well water test, there's 3 different bottles, and even this one, there's a little ice pack that you have to freeze and put on top and ship back with it. The advanced well water test, a test for a lot of different things. I don't know exactly, but whenever we get our results back, we'll let you know.
Yeah, like I'd mentioned before, with just wanting to improve and be more mindful of our health, we just want to kind of examine things, see where we are, test our water to make sure there's nothing in our water that could be having negative effects, pardon me, on our health. So, yeah, doing what we can. So next we load up the bottles into the box.
Yep.
And last night you put the ice pack in there. So
I did, so I need to go get that.
So overall, this looks pretty simple. You just open up the kit, read the instructions, which aren't really thorough and crazy at all, and they have really good pictures, which I really like to see when there's pictures on there to show you how to do things, colorful ones, and not real long descriptions. And you fill up your little water bottles here, put it in, put your ice bag in, and then what do you do after that?
You close it up, tape it up, put the mailing sticker on, and mail it.
There we go. And the name of this company, once again, is TapScore, and they test well water. What else do they test? They
have a whole range of tests. So if there's something specific that you're looking for, you can get that test. But, I mean, they just have, you could test your city water, you could test pretty much anything that you want. Your pond water, they have different tests for that. So, you know, just give them a look.
Yep, and we'll provide the information for TapScore in the show notes below. So just make sure you stay tuned to see what our results are. I'm curious to know too, but we're gonna do what we can to improve and grow in our homestead, in our health, and in our character. So encourage you to do the same. See you next time.